here on Wall to Wall Country, kicking into the second hour of the show. And as promised, I am bringing you someone who's been on the show before. We're very excited to have him back on the show, Mr. Joey Kenyon. Hey, Joey, how are you?
How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Oh, I feel great. Everything's good.
You have a very exciting week. Now, I have not told my listening audience why you wanted to come back on the show, this particular Wednesday, and I'm going to let that surprise be all up to you. But before we get into that, I think a good thing would be to maybe remind everybody a little bit about who you are, what you got going on. I know you also have a new album that's been out since the fall. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and then you can pop the big surprise.
Well, I'm just a singer-songwriter out of Colorado, recording artist, and been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just having a really, probably one of my best years, to tell you the truth. And my album is doing very well. Actually, it broke not in the fall. It was a little bit earlier than that, and
okay.
we're already blessed with a #1 hit on that CD that you have, Casey. He's coming back home to her for good. And then I've got this new song that I co-wrote with Annie Piper, the songwriter out of Houston, Texas, called Life Without You, and that is, golly, it's just pushing here to be #1 pretty soon, so pretty excited about that.
Wow, yeah, and I wanted to mention to you, I decided to hang on to one or two of the CDs that you had sent me from our last interview, so that I could give them away again on this particular interview. So I do have some of these. Maybe we'll play a song or two if you have the time. If not, I can play it after you have to go.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I just wanted to remind people a little bit about some of the great music that you do have on this CD. I think one of the songs we had played before was like Ode to John Denver and Joanne.
Yeah, right.
And I actually think we did play He's Coming Back Home to Her for Good.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe we'll do Life Without You in just a little bit. Now, is that something you wrote, Joey?
Well, this song that Annie Piper is the main writer, and then I co-wrote on it. I just changed a little bit of the arrangement and put in a different word or two, and I put in a modulation, and then, of course, I had my great studio musicians on it here in Nashville, and we just kind of think we made the song a little more better, I guess. I'd like to think, and it's proven that. It's doing really well.
Awesome. Yeah, I know we've been playing it here as well, so people might have already gotten a taste of it. But for those who didn't, I think we will play it in just a little bit. But I want to remind people, you're not new to the industry. You've been doing this for a while. You've been doing a lot of different things. You've been producing, co-writing. You've been doing voiceover, artists, actor, recording artist, performer, singer, songwriter. You've got quite the wide...
You forgot janitor. I do that too.
I think everybody does a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've worked alongside some great people like Hank Williams Jr. and George Strait and Lori Morgan and Alan Jackson, and the list goes on and on and on of people you've worked with and contributed to their music and vice versa. And you've had, some really great success with some of that. And I like to try to, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit, is other than the thing that we're going to talk about, which is one of your own particular accomplishments in your lifetime, can you give the listening audience a little bit about some of that stuff that you've done, and who did you feel was one of the people that was one of the most outstanding moments of your life of when you worked with someone, especially of those calibers?
All those people that you've mentioned, I have been on compilation videos with, and they're all huge stars and wonderful people. I've just, fortunate enough to know artists through the years in the business, because, you stay around long enough and, you can hang with a few people. I just, my producer, Curtis Stone, who is one of the founding members of Highway 101, has always been a great influence on me, besides being a dear friend of mine and producer. He really, through 40 years of business, has really kind of, showed me the ropes and the way to do things and so on. So I have to give him a lot of credit. And one of my other friends I haven't seen in a while, but I hope to tonight, because I'm going to a function here in Nashville tonight, is David Frizzell. Just a real class act, and of course his brother was Lefty Frizzell.
Mm-hmm.
And then, some of these other folks that is part of the surprise that we're going to talk about have been just country music artists as a whole are just first-class people, not the pretentious type that you would think, but just, get a one-on-one with some of the folks. And, Winona comes to mind, is just a sweetheart of a gal, married to Cactus Mosier, who's a good friend of mine. They're just good folks. And,
yeah.
You can't buy that kind of stuff. It's just that's what we do for a living, and we're very blessed and happy to do it. But you know what? People are just people. We're all people. Some people are in a higher profile job than others. But it's how you handle it that really is the thing. And being around that and being raised, in a family when I was a kid, to know what humble is about, and know that when you can do something better than someone else, it doesn't mean that you're so much a better person. It's just that you've been blessed with gifts and talents, and that's how I look at things like that.
Yeah, and like you said, it's all about how you manage what's what's dealt to you and stuff. You can take it one of a couple of different ways, but I mean, and I'll echo your sentiments, Joey. I mean, I've been doing this show for almost going into 3 years, and I've talked to a lot of different artists, from Tanya Tucker, all the way down to people who've got one song out and they're just trying desperately to break into the business. And I don't think I've had one single interview that I felt that they just thought that they were, what I mean, like better than me or in a better place than me. I mean, every single one of them. Lee Greenwood, Phil Vassar. I mean, I've talked to all these people, and they're just so down to earth, and some of them have been in our studios, and they're laying on our couch, hanging onto a microphone, just talking about, chasing after the kids, or cleaning up after the dog, or fixing the car, And you're right, they're just people, and all of the country artists that I've ever managed, including yourself, and I'm so humbled and thankful that you're able to come back on the show again today. We had a lovely chat a while back last year, but let's get to the good news. Well, I'm excited.
yeah. Well, you're a first class gal, and I'll be on your show whenever you ask me. I'll make that effort.
Well, that would be awesome to have you on. Even once a year. You got so much stuff going on, Joey. It's hard to get it all into one interview. So it's always nice to have you come back and get us updated on what's going on. But this particular thing, when we talked last time, we did touch base on this a little bit, and then when you said this is when it's going to happen, right away, I think I said to you, do you want to be back on the show? And we'll announce it. And you were like, yep, And we scheduled it already back then, and I'm glad to have you back. So, a drum roll. It's a drum roll for you, Joey. Tell us a little bit what you got going on this week.
Well, I think we talked a little bit about the TV show that I was doing our last time around. And as a matter of fact, that interview was right in the middle of the week that we were shooting our first 13 episodes for the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I told you that, hey, I'm really busy shooting the show, but I'm going to take some time out, and I'll take, during my lunch in between shooting shows, I'll do the interview. And that's when we did it. Well, those 13 shows went fantastic. And this day after tomorrow on Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, the Joey Canyon Show premieres on the RFD TV network.
Nice.
And my first guest is Mark Wills. I have everybody from Sylvia to T.G. Shepard to the Nelsons and Janie Fricky,
nice.
T. Graham Brown, and so many others, Wynn Varble, and that's the first 13 shows. And then when I get back to Denver here tomorrow, on the January 15th, we shoot the next 13 shows, and that includes everyone from Pam Tillis to Doug Stone. Just tons of great artists that we have all booked and ready to go. So I just encourage your audience, your listeners out there to tune in Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, that kind of a thing, and watch the show. It's a half-hour show, variety. There's some fun stuff, great music. I sing every show. My co-host, Dean Miller, with me, his father, of course, was the legend Roger Miller. And you'll see my buddy Curtis Stone as a music director, and my band, the Blistered Keisters, are just a fantastic band. Every artist that has come into Denver to shoot the show just raves about the band and how great they are, and the set that we have, and the lighting, and what's done. And that's a tribute to the 40-person crew I have doing the show, including my good friend and director, Jim Phelan. So I hope, I really would encourage your listeners to watch the show, and maybe they'll call in and tell you if, how they liked it. And I'd love to hear some feedback. So
I just want to remind everybody that the show, because we're internet, so there's people who listen all over the place. The show is going to be carried on Comcast, DirecTV, Dish, on the RFD TV network, and if they're more of and if they're more of a live stream bug, they can always catch it too at RFDT-TV's website. They can also watch it there. Some of the series, some of the shows there as well. If they're with a smart,
they want to Casey. They want to click on the Country Club button.
Okay,
is what they want to do. And,
okay. I see.
RFD,
Country Club. Yep.
Yeah, to catch the live stream on RFD, they only charge $10 for a whole month every month to watch my show and everybody else's show that is on there, and it's certainly well worth it compared to what we all pay for cable a month. I'm sure.
Sure, absolutely. So that's really kind of cool. And for people who are like, oh my gosh, I got to write all this down, all you have to do is go to joeycanyon.com. And all the information about the show is right there, so they can find the link to the RFD TV's website where they can do it that way. But all the information is there. Kind of gives you a little brief explanation of some of the stars and how they felt about the filming of it when it was their turn to do their segment and stuff. And just all the information about you and your store and your tour and your news media and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And I'll have some pretty cool merchandise on there pretty soon, as soon as I can catch up after shooting all of the episodes. And if you're ever in Denver, Casey, you let me know.
Okay.
And when we're shooting, and I'll get you on my show, and we'll talk about your show. How's that?
That's almost justifiable for me to go out and buy a ticket right now.
See, there you go. Dangle the carrot and see.
I love carrots.
And I'll do that for you.
That would be... Well, I appreciate that offer, sir, and maybe someday I actually will take you up on it. I love Colorado. I love the area out there. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful, and and just an amazing part of the country. And if you've never had the opportunity to explore out west, it's definitely one of those things. I'd spent a lot of time out there a couple of years ago, and it is just there's just sights you can see out there you just can't see anywhere else. So absolutely gorgeous area. And Joey, I appreciate the offer, but people need to know and watch this show. Now remember, it's going to be on the 9th, which is Friday night this week.
Every Friday night, yes.
And if you're on the east here with me, it's at 10 p.m. Obviously, drops back in hours as you go across the country. And the best way to find it is RFD-TV. And people can watch it and get, I'm really excited. I want to watch it myself. And you've got some great talent on there, some wonderful people. And I think and you're saying it's more variety. So it's music, it's chatting, it's a very casual environment.
Yeah. I'll tell you the format. It's country music, traditional country music driven. Mm-hmm. You'll get a song from me, an occasional song from Dean, my co-host, 2 songs a night from my special guests that are on the show, and then we also have 3 other segments, actually 4. One, and they rotate every week. One is the Man on Street interviews. We go out there and talk to people on the street. The other is what I call, that I created called the Top 8. Instead of everybody else has a Top 10, we have a Top 8. And then I also have what is called Buffalo Talk, where me and Dean and Curtis sit on the couch there and just talk about the music business and some of our old stories and stuff from the past. And then finally, the last and certainly not the most least, I'll be recognizing charities, foundations, and individuals that help other people. And so that's pretty much how the show works. And we just have a lot of fun. We have no airs about anything. We're just ourselves. And although a lot of it is scripted, really, we're just being ourselves, and it's just really easy to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's a half-hour show. You're getting a lot of stuff in 30 minutes there.
That's exactly right.
So you got to probably stay on track. But that's really nice that you can, it's not a long show where people are going to get bored or tired with it or whatever. It's 30 minutes of fun where you can step away from the world, listen to some great music, hear some great stories, like you said, talk to people on the street, and just kind of find out some fun stuff that's going on with you and what you got going on with some of those great artists. And I think it's going to be a hit, Joey. I really do. I think you've got something really good going on there, and people, once they find it and they know where to go and when it's on, I think they're going to love watching it.
Well, Casey, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. We feel the same. We just have a lot of great talent on the show and a lot of love to send out to people and make them smile.
Yeah, and again, that's going to be this Friday. Is when it airs, the premiere of it, the first of, 13 weeks, and then you're going to be filming another 13, so it's going to be continuous.
Well, there'll be 26 shows in all.
Okay.
And they're starting this Friday. They'll shoot the first 13 shows, and then they'll rerun those shows, and then they'll run the next new 13 shows, and then replay those. So nice. It's 52 weeks. It's a full season. So.
Nice. Wow. You're going to be a busy man, Joey, a busy man.
I like it.
I'm happy.
I found a job, Casey.
There you go. It's nice when you actually get paid for what you like to do, ain't?
Yeah, I enjoy paying myself these days.
And, of course, we don't want to forget about some of the great music that you have out there. Touch base back on the Rhythm of Living CD. That you have out there with some of the singles that are doing really well. One you released, He's Coming Back Home to Her for Good, and now you're saying Life Without You is doing really well, which I think we're going to feature here in just a minute. We're going to play it and give it a little airplay for you. But I don't want to tie you up. I know you're crazy busy, but I wanted to get that announcement in with you, and I think I'm going to figure out a way to get out to Denver, Colorado, and come and visit.
Well, I think that'd be a good idea, Casey. You're always welcome.
Anything else you want to tell the listening audience before I cut you loose? I know I don't want to hold you up because I know you're busy this week.
Yeah, I think during the summer, maybe early spring and the summer, I'll be touring, and just go on to joeycanyon.com and you can find out where that is. But my agent right now is hot after getting me booked and all of that. So
Okay.
to find out where all of that is just go on to the website and you'll find out where that is.
And as I mentioned to you the last time we chatted, Joey, if you are in eastern side of the Pennsylvania state or somewhere near here where our doors are always open too, I would love for you to swing by and have you in our studios here and do a live chat. That would just be awesome.
That'd be fun. I'd look forward to that.
All right. Well, keep in mind, and you know how to reach me and get in touch and let me know if you're ever near enough that you can make the swing by. That would be awesome.
We will do that.
Well, Joey, once again, it's been a pleasure. You know what? We will also keep in mind that if you do want to come back on the show in a couple months or whatever, get in touch and, we'll get you scheduled. I have no problem bringing you back on the show, my friend.
Well, thank you so much, Casey. You're a sweetheart, and I know all of your audience just loves you. You're first rate.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Good luck with it. I hope it blows the doors off the ratings for you, and you have an awesome, awesome season with this show. Once again, it's the Joey Canyon Show premiering Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Check out his website, joeycanyon.com, for more detailed information on how you can stream it or watch the show at RFD-TV or on Comcast or some of the other places that it's simulcasting. But check this show out, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be a great show. 30 minutes of nonstop entertainment with the man and some awesome, awesome artists. I wish you the best of luck, Joey, and stay in touch.
God bless you, Casey.
All right. Take care, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.